Today on Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas, we're going to take these beautiful tomatoes and turn them into these delicious stuffed tomatoes. I hope you enjoy them. Coming up next on Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas, so stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about what you're going to need to make our delicious stuffed tomatoes. First, you're going to need some dry oregano leaves, minced garlic, basil leaves, Italian seasoning. This is Italian style fine cut cheese just in the bag, that would do the trick. Some ricotta cheese. This is basically any ricotta cheese that you want to purchase. And we got some fresh mozzarella or mozzarella cheese, very important. And my favorite cheese, oh, I just love this cheese. This is Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. And we're gonna grate some of that up. And we're actually gonna mix it with some Progresso Italian style breadcrumbs, yum. You'll need approximately 1 cup of jasmine rice and extra virgin olive oil, if I haven't said that already, salt and pepper, and of course your tomatoes. Now your tomatoes, you want them to be kind of on the firm side. You don't want them totally ripe yet. So these are tomatoes right off the vine. This is a really nice size. And I'm gonna show you exactly how we're gonna cook this up, so stay tuned. Okay, so first in my pot, I'm going to put 2 cups of water in my saucepan here. I'm going to put the flame on, just a low to medium flame. And I'm gonna add my approximately 1 cup of rice to that. And I'm also going to add just a little bit of olive oil. And we're gonna add some dried basil leaves, just like that, just a little sprinkle. Okay, I'm going to stir that up just a little bit, and we're gonna cook this. We're gonna cook that up, and we want this more al dente. We don't want this 100% fully cooked because we're gonna be stuffing our tomatoes with it. We're supposed to cook this up for around 15 minutes, but we're gonna make it al dente and probably cook it for maybe around, I don't know, 10 to 12 minutes, depending, probably around 12 minutes, because we don't want it fully cooked yet, because we're gonna be stuffing our tomatoes with that. So when we come back, we're gonna continue cooking, or I'll show you how to cook up those delicious stuffed tomatoes. Okay, so I'm still grating my Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. I want to grate up just a little bit more. Just gonna grate it up just a little bit more here. Probably want like 1/4 of a cup. All right, I've been munching on it, so that's probably good. This is around 1/4 of a cup or so. And I'm going to add my Italian style Progresso breadcrumbs to it. Now this is going to be for the topping. So when we put it in the oven, it's gonna have a nice crispy top to it, okay? Okay, so let me take off my green stem. I'm just gonna kind of get my knife here, going around. Just plucking that out, okay? We're gonna do that to all 4. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is we're going to cut off the tops, just like that. And we're not going to throw those tops away. We're actually going to use those tops sort of as a little stand for our tomatoes. So I'm going to place them on the screen board here for now. And then with a melon scoop, you want to scoop out all that, the meat in your tomatoes, okay? So I'm going to put that in this bowl here, and I'm just scooping that out, just like that. You want to clean that out. That's where we're going to put our filling. And these melon scoopers come in really handy for this. Okay. So there's one. And I'm gonna continue doing it with all the other three. Checking on my rice. Don't forget, it needs to be covered. I'm just gonna give it a stir every once in a while. Just like that. Put the lid back on. And we still have approximately another 10 minutes to go. Okay, so next what we wanna do, I'm gonna get this strainer here, and we're just gonna put all those tomatoes, the filling, the meat that was inside those tomatoes, and I'm just gonna press it into this strainer here, and the juice is coming out. And I'm just collecting that juice in this bowl here, okay? You don't want to press too much, just a little bit. Okay. Okay, looks good. Got some nice tomato juice there. I'll put it back in here. We're actually going to be using that for the filling. So in this bowl here, speaking of the filling, let's start. So I'm going to add my mozzarella. This is my fresh mozzarella cheese. We're going to add a little bit of that ricotta cheese to it. Okay, I'm just using like, just a little bit, just about 3 forks, you know. This is very informal measurement. And I'm just going to stir that around. I'm going to add my dried Italian seasoning. I just kind of add enough to where it fills the top. All right, now my oregano. This is my dry oregano. You just want the leaves. So I just want to pull off some of those leaves. Probably just a few stems. Okay. Just adding that fresh oregano to it. It smells so good. Some oregano leaves to it. It's maybe like a teaspoon. And stir that, smells good. Stir that a little bit. Excellent. And then I'm going to cook up some garlic and these tomatoes here, and that's going to be part of the filling, so stay tuned. Okay, so I've warmed up my pan here on a medium heat, and now I'm adding some extra virgin olive oil, probably like a tablespoon or so. And I want to make sure that the whole base is pretty much covered in extra virgin olive oil. Just like that. I'm going to let that heat up just a little bit. And then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Okay, this looks like it's heated up pretty nicely. I'm going to add my 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Cook that up in the extra virgin olive oil. Yum. Getting my salt and pepper ready. I'm just going to cook that up for about a minute. And then I'm going to add the meat of those tomatoes in here. Okay, let me add the meat of those tomatoes. Stir that up in that extra virgin olive oil with the garlic. So we're going to cook this up for approximately just about not even 5 minutes really. Okay. And I'm going to add right now my salt and pepper to it. Just a sprinkling of salt. And a sprinkling of pepper. And my rice is done. Just like that. I'm gonna let that cool. You want to definitely let the rice cool. Still cooking up my tomatoes. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off now. And I'm gonna let that cool down too. Okay, so we gotta let the rice cool and we gotta let the tomatoes cool. Now while the rice and the tomatoes are cooling, I'm going to finish with my tomatoes here in my mixture. So with my mixture, I'm going to also add that some of that cheese, that Italian style cheese that's finely cut into my mixture. I'm just adding probably about half a cup of that. And I'm just gonna give that a toss too. It smells nice, smells really good. And I'm gonna get my extra virgin olive oil. Now the vessel here that we're gonna be putting the filling in, we definitely want to address that too. So I'm going to get my 4 and I'm going to drizzle some extra virgin olive oil, not only on top of the tomatoes, but also at the bottom. I'm gonna get that juice from the tomatoes, add that juice to the bottom, okay? And I want to salt and pepper my tomatoes. And before, I almost forgot about my base. Now these are just really for decoration. It's for the tomato to sit on. So we're just going to flip those over, and so the tomato can sit on top. Makes a really nice presentation. All right, so I'm gonna get my salt and pepper, just like that. Just a little bit. Looks good. So this is what it looks like so far. We're gonna continue making the filling. So we have our mozzarella in there. We have our dried herbs, Italian seasoning, and basil. And we also have our fresh mozzarella. And now I'm gonna add the rice. The rice is going to be added in there. We're gonna mix that. I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil to it, just to get a little bit moistened with our tomatoes. So I'm using a slotted spoon because even that I do want it to be moistened, I don't want it to be drenched. So I'm just using a slotted spoon here. Get some of that tomato. Mix that. Oh, it looks so good and smells great. All right. Okay. Give it a little taste. Oh, yum. Some salt and pepper. Give it a nice little stir with my spoon. Remember, I just added some extra virgin olive oil to tomatoes, and I'm going to stuff. And when you stuff it, you don't want to pack it in there. You want it to be a little bit loose so that cheese can melt, okay? So don't stuff, just nicely put it in there, and that should do the trick. Now, if you happen to have some extra left over, don't worry about it. You can always use it for more tomatoes, or you can use it for another dish. Just put it in the refrigerator. All right. Filling these. Oh, smells so good. I cannot wait. Oh, by the way, my oven is on 400 degrees. I'm preheating it to 400 degrees. And we're gonna cook this for approximately 25 minutes or so. All right, there's that. Got my last one. Nice, awesome. And then I'm gonna get my Parmigiano Reggiano cheese and my breadcrumbs, and I'm going to just sprinkle that on the top. Yum. And of course, if you have extra left over, you can still put this in the refrigerator and use it for another dish. Okay, yum. This is gonna give it a nice crisp top, okay? And now we're gonna put it in the oven. I can't wait to take a bite out of this. Oh my gosh, smells so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's a tomato with the filling and the little crunchy top. Oh, so good. These make perfect hors d'oeuvres. You could have them as a little side dish. Oh my God, really, really good. I hope you enjoyed Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas today. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and like this video. And if you are interested, I have a Facebook page called Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas. Hopefully you will like that page and try some of the recipes, and you can post some of the pictures on my Facebook page and if they went well for you or not. And I call it Dishing on the Dish. So hopefully you'll enjoy that, and until next time, happy cooking, bye-bye.